Fellow citizens of the verse, with the pending wipe being announced and on the radar with the release 4.0, I noticed a lot of buzz from new players concerning about exactly what's going to happen. I want to spend a few minutes of our time diving into this, and at the end of the video I'll cover off why it might actually be a good thing you haven't considered. Let's jump into it. Let's start off with what is a wipe. Now in Star Citizen, a wipe refers to the process of resetting a player's progress or data in the game. This can involve clearing and resetting various elements of the game, such as the character progression, the inventory, currency, or the actual persistent universe itself. Now, in the case where they reset the player progression, that's really about resetting your achievements, your levels, your reputation. Inventory takes one of a couple of different approaches. It could clear everything that you haven't actually purchased out of your inventory, such as the ships, the cargo, equipment, and all of your assets. Or, and far more likely, they basically take your consumables, like your drinks and your ammo. When they reset the currency, they'll take you all the way back to whatever you've actually bought as part of your package. And when they reset the persistent universe, they'll actually rebuild the universe itself from the ground up and rebuild all of the assets, missions, etc. Now, wipes most commonly happen during major updates or when significant changes to the game's underlying systems are made. For example, if the developers update a core game mechanic, a wipe might be necessary to ensure the compatibility with the new version. In this case, the wipe is being done so the development team can test the new economy system, see if it requires further balancing, as that's one of the things they put a lot of work into in 4.0. Now, this is something they actually did earlier this year as well, and it was actually only a minor wipe at the time. Away all of our alpha UAC, and we really just had to earn back the credits in game, but it did let us keep all of our inventory and ships other than the normal drinks and ammo that they got rid of. As I mentioned earlier, there's three main types of wipes. There's a major, minor, and a super minor wipe. In a major wipe, which happens very infrequently, and they've actually promised to stop doing them at all, typically done when a new patch introduces a large overhaul of the game or the system, in this case the economy. And major wipes affect everything, the characters, the inventory, currency, rebuilding the universe, etc. Now, minor wipes will be where they'll actually target a specific thing, like I had mentioned earlier this year, where they get rid of just our currency, but they left everything else in our inventories, including our ships. And finally, the super minor wipes, which really just get rid of your drinks and your ammo, and it's more of an inconvenience because personally I always forget to buy new ones before I head to my hangar. A lot of players find the wipe to be a real frustration since they're essentially restarting your progress. However, they are part of the game's ongoing development as Star Citizen is still in active development and undergoing frequent changes. The game's approach to wipes is meant to keep things balanced and to make sure that everyone is on an equal footing after major updates. However, players who have actually gotten used to seeing their progress wiped away may have actually just adjusted their expectations given the nature of the game's early access and the fact it's still in the testing phase. Now, personally, I've played games like Minecraft for years now, and one of my favorite parts of Minecraft is right after you do a reset and you set up a new world, and it's that initial grind before you really start to get settled into the day-to-day. And resetting the universe here in Star Citizen allows us that opportunity to do the exact same thing all over again, but this time with the knowledge that you've had from the previous cycles. Like the old question of, would you do it differently if you could go back as a teenager with the knowledge that you have as an adult? Well, in Star Citizen, you actually have that opportunity every time they do a wipe. For me, I know it's an opportunity to start at zero with nearly nothing and work my way up to an expert in the different disciplines. For some, it may be an opportunity to work your way through a different discipline that you've never experienced before. Either way, to me, it feels like an opportunity, not a bad thing, but it's really not for everyone. Or if anyone's been following the development of Star Citizen for a while, you've noticed how everyone's interest in the game really seems to fade after a month or two after a new patch or new functionality is released. To me, this is what a wipe is all about. It's really about bringing the players back in so they can go back and re-earn the place that they were before. And really, it's doing a reset so that you actually get to start over, obviously. And when they reset the missions, for instance, it's an opportunity to actually start over and build up your character again, as all of the missions in game can get a little bit redundant once you've started to max them out. And you get to go and do things like the starter missions before, where Once you've been in the game for a while, there's really no point in doing the low-value missions that you get when you start out. So this brings about the question that's been asked way too many times in the past few days, but quite honestly, what's the point in actually playing until then if all your progress is just going to be reset with 4.0? Simple. It's an opportunity to go off and buy that new ship that you've been thinking about, but really if you're saving your money for the larger ship, you've really passed up the opportunity. It's an opportunity to go and try a bunker with your good armor, since you really don't have to worry about losing it, because everything that you purchased in real life you get back at wipe. It's a chance to really perfect your skill in a certain area, like for instance salvaging, where you can actually perfect your skill and apply those skills once the wipe happens. An opportunity to earn some rewards by saving Stanton, for instance, which those rewards will persist past the wipe since they're permanent. And more importantly, it's the opportunity to keep playing the game that we all love, or love to hate depending on the day, honestly. There will always be another wipe on the horizon until we launch this game, and possibly even afterwards. So if you're afraid to invest your time now, what are you going to do? Just never play until it's actually launched? On a complete side note before I end this video, how tough is this Polaris? I mean, seriously, I shouldn't be able to ram it into the ground from 5k up going as fast as I possibly can multiple times without it breaking. Is this thing actually invincible? Mind that with the fact that it flies like a dream, I might actually have to pick one of these up just to carry around my Vulture. I was expecting it to fly a lot more like the Reclaimer does in Atmosphere, but this thing flies really well. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you to everyone who's watched this video and coming out to support the channel in the normal ways. And until next time, we'll see you in the verse.